Party people, thanks for joining me and my Six of Thoughts. My name is Anthony Taylor. I'm your guide, your host. Thank you for showing up. You could have been doing so many different things, but you chose to be here with me today, and I thank you for it. That's real talk. We're going to dive right into it. You read the thumbnail. You already know what it is. So with that being said, we're going to dive right in. So the question becomes, what is the price of a chip? Well, based on the Sixers front office and ownership, the price of the chip is $1.5 million, because that's exactly what they saved with this dump of Jared McCain, Freestyle Sundays. Don't try this at home. Now, they saved $1.5 million not to get a superstar, not to get a bench piece, but just so they can say we didn't have to pay the luxury tax. And at this point, this cheapness era isn't just a meme or a battle cry. It's actually turned into the business strategy of the Sixers. That's just crazy. So we just going to recap and dive in as we do all the time. We try to take a different perspective from the talking heads that we already hear on a daily basis. So let's just recap. So for years we've asked Embiid to act and conduct himself like a superstar and come outside himself and not be silent like most superstars, but go out and express your feelings to management, which he did. He openly pled with management. Like, dude, this is the fourth, fifth year of us worrying about avoiding the luxury tax. Please don't cut nobody. Please leave the roster the way that it is, because he saw that the way the East was constructed, providing that all parties stayed the same, that they actually would have a decent chance to make a run due to injuries, teams not having, teams not just being up the code just yet, you know what I mean? And ultimately, he just saw that there was a window in which that if everything fell into place, they actually had a shot, especially on the current winning streak that they were actually on. But no, management didn't listen, because saving money is more than winning a chip. And yet again, you're proving it. Fourth year in a row. Let's avoid the luxury tax. Another talking point is they were gifted $5.9 million with the suspension of Paul George, his 25-game suspension. Now, what's funny about it is you got that break, more money that you could have used. But no, saving it was more important for future free agents in the summer, or whatever goofiness, buyouts that they think they're going to get. I'm going to do a video on that because I really don't think much is coming down the pipe with that. You know, how many years we played this game, with the exception of that 1 year when we got Ilyasova and Bellinelli. Help ain't coming, so you can drop that one. And so I'm looking at it like this. If I'm a cheapskate and I want to avoid luxury tax, and if in fact, you know, my whole MO is based off business, because at this point, this is just a business, it has no fandom in sight, no inkling of trying to win a chip. That ain't what drives him. He owns several sports teams, and for the most part, they all operate under the same notion. It's a business, regardless of what we think as a fan, and regardless of how we think things should be. That man is in the business of making money. But with that being said, don't you think if you put the right roster together and you have a deep playoff run, you get to recoup your money back? I would think. I just would think, you know, with all these additional home games, merchandise, jerseys, parking, you know, concessions, monies, what have you, extra luxury boxes, what have you. You will recoup that little bit of money that you called yourself saving. And I look at it like this. You didn't have to give up on McCain after 1 year. Certainly he didn't look like the guy from last year. But that takes time. You know, a lot of people just don't snap back and be like they were before the injury. It take about a year or so. But you had time. For once you finally got it right. For once you've gotten it right. Your draft history is trash. What you do with draft picks, it should be studied for comedy's sake. So you kicking the can down the line with hopes of, oh, we're going to get draft picks and we're going to... No. We can stop that. We lying to ourselves. You know? And so once again, that too is something that's open for discussion. So the whole MO and the play is, let me get draft picks for McCain. No, you needed some help to hold the fort until PG gets back. Because the fact of the matter is, everybody around you has improved their roster. Everyone. To tighten up for the championship run. And you thought that your roster was so much together that you didn't have to add anything. We good. That's what you thought? We good? That's the business model throughout the office? We good? Like, once again, roster construction is ignored. You know, you can say what you want about the front court. Like, Drum is what drumming is. But, you know, you can't eat off that bone on a nightly basis if Embiid goes down. Bona hasn't developed the way he should have. Basketball IQ is in the dumps. But, you know, player development ain't your strong suit. So relying on draft picks is a joke to me. If relying on draft picks because you figure they have rookie contracts and it's cheap labor, well, you had one in the second year. And you let him walk out the door. You could have gave up Gordon before you ultimately did, and you damn sure could have got rid of Lowry. Like, how much importance do you put on a 40-year, like, okay, if you want to be that veteran presence, damn it, become assistant coach. Become assistant coach. I understand the concept of you got to have veterans on the squad, especially when you got young talent. It makes sense. It's not outside our realm of comprehension. But if the man can't get on the floor and you refuse to put him on the floor, why is he holding up a roster spot? So, once again, another prime example of organizational malpractice. It's a joke. It's a joke that no one's laughing. No, they're laughing. The league is laughing. Because I really believe our sole purpose for the existence in the NBA is for comic relief, or how not to run an organization, or how to run your superstars in the ground, or basically give out free money to GMs that don't do their job. And let's stop with the comedy of, oh, we did our due diligence, we just couldn't close a deal. While everybody else managed to close deals with far less. Used to people close deals with second round draft picks. You know? So let's knock it off. You're not in the business of making this team better. You're in the business of just doing just enough to keep people coming through those turnstiles, or as they often say, put asses in seats. Just come out and say it. We can respect it. It makes sense. But what you're doing really should be studied. Hey, thanks again. Like, comment, subscribe. Everybody tell a friend to tell a friend that we have discussions like this on a regular basis. Feel free to comment. I'm very interested in what the masses have to say. Just be respectful. Let's not get in here with the foolishness. So, with that being said, not a person that's going to beat you in the head for a long period of time. Thanks for coming. Stay blessed. And more importantly, be safe. We're done.